Charters, are you looking for a new pair of shoes that are cute, comfortable, and can be worn every day? Finding your new go-to pair is now easier than ever with Rothy's. Their shoes give you right out of the box comfort, come in amazing styles and colorways, and hey, you can wash them. It's a new age, people!
And the best part is everything Rothy's makes is better for the planet. So there you go. They've repurposed millions of water bottles into their signature thread that goes into every single one of their products. Millions of women wear Rothy's shoes every single day.
And I'm definitely one of them. They're so comfortable. I wear my Rothy's every day. And I'm Asian, and I'm not supposed to wear them in the house. But you can't tell me what to do. It's my house. Did you know that for People's Magazine's first ever style awards, they awarded Best Flat to one of Rothy's styles?
When I tell you these things are comfortable, I mean, I cannot overstate it. All right, so step up your shoes and accessories this spring and get ready to be asked, hey, are those Rothy's? Plus, get $20 off your first purchase at rothys.com/add to cart. That's ROTHYS.com/add to cart.
Also with that fire, boy.
You forgot your bling bling. Wait.
Hey everybody, welcome to another fine episode of Add to Cart. I'm Sujin Pak.
And I'm Kulap Vilaysack.
And listen, all month long, it's Asian Peoples Month.
That's right.
We're celebrating
Asian American Pacific Islander Heritage Month.
Yes.
This is week 2 of our celebration.
All month long, we're going to be talking about Asian-owned businesses. We're going to have Asian American guests. You know, we're going to do kind of what we normally do. It's not that different, I have to say.
Right. True.
You know, listen, Kulap and I, we were just talking about, there's a lot of stuff happening in our community. Not so great stuff. You know, the violence continues, the hate crimes, just the heartache. But we really want to try to focus this week and this month on hashtag Asian Joy, you know? And so we're going to try to do that. And we've got a fantastic guest for you today, and she'll be on later on in the show.
She's a dear friend of yours.
Yes, she's a friend. Laura Izumikawa is going to be on. So excited. Mother of Joey and Casey, Nap Time with Joey. So many people love and adore her.
So let's get into our add to cart, Sujan. This week, I want to add to cart season 1 of the adult animated superhero series on Amazon, Invincible. It stars Steven Yeun as the titular character, Sandra Oh, J.K. Simmons. It's a real murderer's row of talent. One of my dear friends, Jason Mantzoukas, does a voice. Of course, he does most voices in the animated world. But the show, are you familiar? Do you?
No, I'm not familiar with this.
It is based on Robert Kirkman's graphic novel series, which is fantastic. And speaking of Jason Mantzoukas, we have a weekly comic book club, and we, as me, Jason Mantzoukas, and my husband Scott, meet weekly for an hour and a half. And in comic book club, first hour is usually hot goss, our fears about COVID, when we cried that week. We do a little shit talking, and then the last 30 minutes we talk about the book we read that week. Oh my God. And we've been doing this for almost the entire demi.
Look at you adorable little nerds.
We're little nerds.
It.
And so we reread the entire Invincible series. And so these are multiple books, Sujin. And the show revolves around 17-year-old Mark Grayson, voiced by Steven Yeun, who's just like every other guy his age, except his father, played by J.K. Simmons, is the most powerful superhero on the planet, Omni-Man. Think Superman. But as Mark starts to develop his own powers, he discovers his father's legacy may not be as heroic as it seems.
Son, we need to talk.
So, this is not for children. This is not something you watch with your kids. This is It is based on a graphic novel and it has very graphic violence. That said, excellent.
Oh, it's that cast. I mean, Jason Mantzoukas, sold. I have an add to cart, and this add to cart is More Than Our Bellies. So Philip Lim, a fashion designer, started this marketplace, and it's he has very, very curated products in there, and all with the intention of how do we buy with intention, but also who makes these products, right? So for example, he just launched a few products. And by the way, these sell out right away. So if you like something, get
Really?
it. Yes.
Okay.
He puts them up not, very often. And then when something comes on, they have limited. They're all handmade. There's these beautiful collection of handmade maple chopping boards that are handcrafted in Brooklyn by people who have lost their jobs due to the pandemic.
Wow.
But it's this pottery from this South Korean artist that they designed with to create these just incredible pieces of pottery that I bought every single one. So that's More Than Our Bellies, which is also the name of his cookbook, where you can't buy anywhere. It's already sold out, and I don't know when it's ever going to come back again.
Jeez,
but Philip Lim,
wow.
yeah, Philip Lim for me has been a pandemic discovery and savior. I started watching him on Instagram and being so soothed when in the beginning we just wanted to be soothed. And he was cooking on his Instagram. He does these videos where he talks about his plants and he names all his plants. So I started to name my plants. And so now Zoe, it's my absolute delight when she asks me, "Did you water Helen today?"
This guy right here is Matilda.
Of course you name your plants. And so Philip Lim, for me, I've just been watching him and kind of, I knew him as a fashion designer, but I had no idea that he, had this other side to him. And then just recently, he has become such a voice and an advocate for the AAPI community, raising awareness around hate crimes. And plus, he sells and curates these products on the site More Than Our Bellies. You guys, it's a feast for the senses. The eyes touch everything. And I'm just so excited to see this new crop of products come up. And 15% of all proceeds this month go to Give India. And we all know what is happening in India with COVID.
I want to put it out to our listeners to DM us or leave us a voicemail of other things that we can do in addition to donations. It's just so horrible.
Yeah.
The other item I want to add to cart and ask you guys to add to cart is our past guest, one of my best friends, Casey Wilson, has an amazing book out now. It's called The Wreckage of My Presence. It's a collection of essays, which they're so funny, they're so intimate. They're also like gutting, and they have so much heart. And it's Casey.
Yeah.
It's Casey from title to every single word. I'm so proud of her. She's putting herself out there in this just truly inspiring way. I'm so in awe of her talent.
Yeah.
It is funny. But Casey lost her mother, and it's such a tribute to her and a real exploration of grief. So, obviously I'm biased, but I really think wherever you get your fine books, get yourself The Wreckage of My Presence by Casey Wilson.
I just started it last night, and already, her story about how she's a bed person and how her and her husband do everything in bed, eat in bed, full-on meals. They have a salt and pepper shaker and a bottle of ketchup in their nightstand, you guys. And once again, I have never been so seen. I would say the first argument that Mike and I ever had as a couple was when he would watch me eat in bed my crunchy toast, because I like my toast real crunchy, just on the other side of burnt. With someone who actually cares about the stuff in their house, watching me eat crunchy toast in his bed. Yeah, I remember that argument. And when I read that first chapter, I was like, I'm going to read this out loud to him one day. Just tuck him in and say, let me read you a bedtime story about a gal named Casey and what she does in the bed. So I can't wait to get to the rest of it, but it's such a great read already.
It's been such a joy to watch Casey navigate, put this together, craft. To really go there and be so vulnerable about things that maybe most people don't bring to light, things that most people don't speak of, things that she didn't speak of for the longest time. To offer that to us, to be so detailed and heartfelt and honest and raw, it's such a gift. It's such a gift.
I can't wait to listen to the audiobook of it with her voice. That's what I was thinking. That's coming, right? Or is it already out there?
I think it's out.
Oh,
I think it's
okay.
out. You guys, use your Audible credits. Get this.
I'm going to quickly finish off with my last add to cart. It's a quick one. It's this podcast. It's called Tell Them I Am. Have you listened to this podcast yet, Kulap?
No, I haven't.
Oh, you're going to love it, love it, love it.
Okay.
It's a podcast about the small moments that define who we are and who we are not. It's about the voices of Muslims. It tells and talks about the Muslim identity in a way that I've never heard.
I'm Yuna Zarai. I'm a singer-songwriter from Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia.
My name is Amru Al-Qadi. My drag name is Glamru.
My name is Jawhar
Glamru
Ilham.
Al-Khalifa
I am Uyghur.
Al-Hayy.
My name is Fazia Mirza. Honestly, I think I'm best known for being a queer brown Muslim.
Look, an octopus has 3 hearts. Look, here are the 3 hearts. Like, 3 hearts? Like,
it's a low-key panic attack. Like, I felt like my eyeballs are sweating. You know what I mean?
Like an actual scandal, not just like an emotional one.
There are black people in France.
So to hear these stories
told
and the
you.
diversity and the wide range of identities and what it means to be Muslim in this country, each episode is one guest and their story about what it means to be Muslim. Every episode, I learn something new every 5 seconds on the podcast. So it's just one of those ways of you're learning about a culture that a giant swath of this planet identifies as Muslim. I think I read somewhere that 65% of Muslims identify as Asian. So it just is a part of our identity that for me, that I don't know a lot about. It's quality storytelling. It's like good radio, editing and production. So it's such a great listen.
And the host is Misha Youssef.
Mm-hmm. And she's great. It's like she breaks it down. There's no taboo that she doesn't. She kind of leans into all of that. This is what you thought it was, and then this is what it really means. And I think I always find it fascinating that the topic of religion and spirituality, how we as young people, as modern people, as not our parents' sort of version of spirituality or religion, like what does it mean and how do we define it for ourselves? I'm always interested in that topic, maybe because I grew up in such a born-again Baptist home that was so strict. So I think it's really, really great to hear it from...
Wait, I don't think I knew that.
Oh, yeah?
My sponsor family is Baptist. But I didn't know that your family was born-again Baptist.
Oh, yeah. My born-again Baptist. I spoke in tongues by the time I was probably 9. I spent every summer at VBS Bible School. I was a Sunday school teacher. Okay, first year of college.
What, Claire? What episode is this? What? I'm learning
you don't know
this now. Wow.
Oh, listen, you're part of a comic book club, and I'm learning this now in this episode. So yeah,
things are being revealed.
Don't you love the pieces that comes together, and when we're talking about more risque topics?
I think that's what it is. It's like so much of what we're talking about is so much a part of us that it's like not novel. And then when it'll come up to get the other person's reaction and the other person's take about just like a piece of us is like the best.
Yeah, so I'm always fascinated with how people deal with religion because I don't know yet for myself. I'm like, especially now with kids, when my daughter's like, so where is heaven? I'm like, well, as a Sunday school teacher. I would say, heaven is where the good people who accept Jesus Christ as their personal savior go. But I don't know what heaven is as me right now, so I don't know. I'm always fascinated by that. So this is a great, really fun, interesting podcast to listen to.
Wow. I love it. I love it so much, Suchin. I love learning more things about you. Of course, we will swing back to this. This is just the beginning. I am inspired to do some excavating. To you, to me. I don't know who I am, post-Demi. I know I'm different, but maybe what will be different is that I'm going to be a real archaeologist when it comes to me and you. And I know that frightens you. Yep, I feel it. Well, let's take a quick break and we'll be right back.
So, Kulap, I'm pretty sure if I could just sleep a full, undisturbed 8 hours, even 5 hours, I could wake up refreshed, make my own hummus, I don't know, start speaking French or something. You know what I mean? I'm just saying that I could accomplish so much more.
Yeah, me too. That's why today we want to talk about Birch mattresses. Yes. They are organic, non-toxic mattresses shipped for free straight to you with no contact delivery and free returns.
They are made in America with just 3 materials: organic latex, New Zealand wool, and American steel springs. That's it.
I ordered a Birch Queen and I've slept like an actual rock this week.
I as well have the Birch Queen and it was so good, I bought 2 twins for my kids. So we are a Birch family.
Well, I share a king with Scott, but the Queen is just for me in a different room.
That's why you look so refreshed. What I love about this, they're comfortable, and it's so good to know that while you're sleeping, you are sleeping on organic cotton. It doesn't get overheated. The entire bed is the cool side of a pillow.
Yes, and you can check out this bedding at birchliving.com/add-to-cart. They have a 25-year warranty, and you get to try it out for 100 nights risk-free. They'll pick it up for you if you don't love it, but we know you will.
And Birch is giving $200 off all mattresses and 2 free EcoRest pillows at birchliving.com/add-to-cart. So that's $200 off all mattresses and 2 free EcoRest pillows. All right, guys. So excited to have our next guest. This powerhouse is a photographer, author of Nap Time with Joey. Yes, the iconic internet-breaking Joey. Digital content creator, wife, mother. She's a writer, by the way, beautiful writer. I know that she may be embarrassed that I'm calling that out. And now a butterfly grower. I know that's not the official title, what one does when you grow magical butterflies.
But if you do it, it needs to be said.
I know. Please welcome Laura Izumikawa.
Welcome to the show.
Oh my gosh.
Thank you so much for being on the show. When I texted you, were like, really? Listen, I want to get to your things and we're going to get to them right away. But I just want to say we have been trapped in our houses for a long time, Laura.
Yeah.
You've been trapped in your house with 2 very young, beautiful, but highly energetic gals, your daughters, your husband, and I don't even know if you have extended family. How has being trapped in your house with cats, butterflies, how has it been?
How has it been? That's a loaded question, right? Oh my gosh. I mean, I think in the beginning I did see it as like I'm trapped in the house, but then I realized I actually love being home. Like, am I antisocial? Like I didn't know that about myself until like I was forced to stay home for a long time. Yeah. And it wasn't so bad. Yeah, it was lots of projects, lots of fixing things around the house that kind of got us occupied for a while, but it was good.
That's awesome. Kulap, watching her, she documents her life with such humor and such it's such a specialness, but it's not like a precious specialness. You know what I mean? She's okay, like, you know, getting a little messy around the edges with the kids and all of that. It's not like this perfectly curated thing. She likes to take us behind the scenes and all of that. And over the pandemic, Laura, I've watched you. It's like I'm watching my neighbor's family, and I've got like a webcam in their living room. I feel a little stalkery, but I can't help it. I'm like, well, what's Joey eating today? What is she saying?
So you have 2 daughters.
Yes.
Their names are Casey and JoJo. I have to ask, are you a fan of the R&B singers Casey and JoJo, or was that just pure happenstance?
It was like the song of the 90s for me for a long time. It was like my ringtone. I like set up my pager to like make that sound. Like I was obsessed with it. I played it on the piano. Anytime I saw a piano, like anywhere, I like had to play the first like 10 seconds of it.
Wait, what's the Casey and JoJo song?
All My Life. It's All My Life.
Oh,
how do you not know, Suchin?
All my life.
Yes.
I pray for someone like you.
Yes. That's a generation anthem.
It is. It kind of is our anthem. So yeah, it had to be done. I mean, I wasn't thinking like starting with baby one, like, oh, I'm gonna have a second one and call her Casey, so we make it work. But it just ended up being like a joke that Alan and I talked about. And then when the baby was actually coming, we were like, no, seriously, like, what is the name? And we're like, well, why don't we just do it and like see if it works? And it ended up working out.
Laura, you are literally my hero for this. I love R&B so much, and that era is such a special time for me.
Yes.
And that you did this, it makes me so happy.
It's so like commitment on another level, right? Yeah.
It is. But then it's a lot of explanation too. But, you know, I'm happy to explain my love for R&B from the 90s.
I hoped this was the answer. I hoped. And you fulfilled a wish.
Yay.
All right. So, well, one of the big reasons, besides the fact that I adore you and your family, Laura, I wanted to have you on, is you always have the weirdest, most fantastical things that you're talking about on your feed. And I was like, you have to come on and talk about some of this stuff. So let's talk about some of your add to carts.
Oh my gosh. First of all, I'm so honored. Like when you texted me about it, I was like, wait, what? Me? Did I like hear this, read this right? Because I listen to you guys all the time and I'm like, yes, like I need to add that to cart. Okay, I'll tell you what kind of shopper I am. I add tons of things to my cart, but I just let it sit there for like days and weeks. I let it like pass a test of time. Do I want it a week from now? Or
I'm familiar. This sounds very comfortable for me.
Yes. I have multiple carts open, okay, at the same time. Yeah. And if it happens to expire, then so be it.
That's the universe.
Yeah. And then if I get bothered by that and I have to go and add it to cart again, that means I really want it.
So if you love it, let it go. And if it comes back to you,
yes,
it's meant to be.
If it's calling my name literally, then I have to reconsider this choice to purchase the item. But yeah, I get a lot of stuff. We say no to a lot of gifts, but in the end, we still have a lot of things to try out for kids and stuff. And, while we donate all that stuff, I'm trying to minimize clutter. I'm trying to minimize purchasing things. We just don't have the space. And so, yeah, it takes me a while to actually commit to purchasing something. So I have a list for you guys. It was hard for me to narrow it down, but I hope it will be something you guys will consider.
Now I understand. Like, it's a curated list. It's a carefully select. This isn't willy-nilly. This isn't just random. This is like thoughtful, mindful things that bring you joy.
These are things that I have gifted to others multiple times because I love these things. But I have like a whole slew of stuff like in my list, but I have narrowed it down to 3, 4. So
thank you.
Let's do it. I'm excited.
The first one I see is the Tamarian 2 portable infrared heating pad. Wow.
All right. So tell us about this. Laura, I have to say, we have texted about this.
Yeah.
Because I saw it and I immediately texted her and I said, do I need this? So I'm so excited to get the full review and recommendation. So go ahead.
Okay. So Tamarian 2, it's a portable infrared heating pad, as Kulap mentioned. It is changed my life. It has become like a romantic item in my marriage. So what it is, it's a heating pad. Here it is. It is a natural gem. It's an actual gem called
tourmaline.
Tourmaline, yes. There you go. And it
Kulap
conducts...
is very happy.
Gem crystals, yes.
Yes, all of that, right? This is amazing because it's a natural electric radiating gem. And so all you do is charge it for like 6 minutes and it stays heated for up to like 3-4 hours. And it's amazing because I used to have the worst back pain where I was paralyzed. Like I couldn't get out of bed, menstrual cramps, like the worst, carpal tunnel type of stuff, like, a lot of joint pain. But having this on me, like on my waist, sleeping it with it on at night, has relieved all of its. It's so weird. And I've tried like everything else. I've tried electric blankets. I've tried massage guns. Like I've done medication to relieve it, but it doesn't do half the work that the Tamarian 2 does.
Wow.
And I've gifted it to my mother-in-law, my mother. They love it. And the reason why I say it's a romantic thing now is because my husband, Alan, always heats it up for me and puts it in our bed every night before.
That's love.
Yeah, it's so love because he knows how much I love it.
Oh my God. Oh, first of all, so adorable. Okay, I have questions. Mama has questions. So listeners can't see it. It looks like kind of a clutch.
Yes, it does. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Like a velvet clutch.
Clutch.
Yeah.
So I get a lot of neck pain because it's like that round shape. Can you put the heat up top, or is it mainly best for sort of like abdominal and back heat?
That's a good question because I do have a lot of neck pain as well. I'm not an expert at this because I don't work for them. But what I have found is that when it heats up your body, it kind of activates your core temperature and blood circulation. And actually, the first time I used it, I got nauseous. And that is actually normal and it's a good sign. Because when you're sitting in the sauna for a long time, you start feeling a little bit nauseous. It's because of the blood circulation. It's because all that blood is going around your neck, your hands, your feet, your body, everywhere. And that's good, and it reduces inflammation over time. I don't know what else to say except it does what it's supposed to do.
The three of us are Asian, but if you're out there and not Asian, stagnant blood is maybe the number one problem for all that ails.
Yes.
Listen, I mean, Kulap said it, okay? Stagnant blood. You don't want your blood to be stagnant, okay? That's not what you want.
You want it to flow.
Yes.
Like the mighty Mississippi.
What's interesting, too, is we talk about another product on this show a lot, is the Lanshan hot stone massage thing. And that's also made of tourmaline. There's no electrical component to the hot stone massage. But I wonder, and I think I would surmise that it's something also about the tourmaline. It creates a kind of heat that is very different than other types of heat. Because like you, Laura, I have tried everything. So it's very interesting to me that this then is kind of like a whole body thing. You don't necessarily have to put it exactly on the spot, but it feels like it's releasing and creating circulation for your entire body, no matter really where you exactly apply the stone.
They say it is an all-natural source of negative ions and far infrared rays, also known as FIR. Emits it into the body to penetrate deeper into the skin, muscles, and joints for what Laura's describing, a soothing, relaxing, and romantic effect.
And romantic. Don't forget the romantic. I love this, and I've been wanting to talk to you about it since I saw it on your feed. So thank you. Okay, awesome.
Let's take a quick break and we'll be right back. Up next, we have the Opal Nugget Ice Maker.
What is this?
It's so random, guys. Okay.
I know.
So,
what is this?
I don't buy like designer handbags. Like I don't spend a lot of money on stuff that I think a lot of women enjoy. I spend money on ice makers. I spend money on like gems, like that, will help my back pain. Like for me, it's got to be an investment.
She heats up and then she cools off with these ice
There you
makers.
go.
Okay. Oh my God.
Okay, she don't do diamonds, okay? The gems and the ice that she
is referring to is literally ice. Okay.
Exactly.
I love it. I love that you are an ice maker gal. Go on.
Okay, so this isn't just ice, okay? Think of your favorite kind of ice. Like for me, it's like that crunchy ice that I got at the local roller skating place back when I was like 10 years old, and I just kept asking for refills of ice because it had this like granular like texture. When you bite it, it like crunches. It's so satisfying, and it keeps your beverage perfect temperature. I don't know what it is. I'm such a picky ice person. This makes that ice.
Okay, I've never thought about this. You've sold me. I've never once for a second wow, my ice. But you took me to a place. You sold me. You were like, I was like in Mad Men. You were drapering me. I was like, yes. Don Drapered me.
She took you back to a memory. She took you back to a sensor. I mean, this is cool. This is how you get Cool Up on board. Give her all the senses.
This is a total nostalgic product. It's amazing. So I used to get cravings for chewing ice, especially when I was pregnant. And I would get a 10-pound bag for $2 at the local Sonic drive-in, but because their ice is amazing. But it's like 20 miles away.
Such a huge tip.
It's a huge tip. If you want that crunchy ice and you don't have this Opal Nugget ice maker, go to Sonic Drive-In, get the 10-pound bag for $2. It's amazing.
I didn't know that was available to us. I didn't know that was even an option. That's like the In-N-Out secret menu.
Oh yeah, the secret menu.
And this is why Laura is here.
Okay.
This is what I'm talking about. Okay,
wow,
listen up, guys.
Listening.
Ice.
Edge of my seat. Edge of my seat.
I got the download on the ice, guys. It's like
okay,
amazing. So if you're entertaining or making cocktails for someone, or if you're just like wanting something to cool down real quick, or the kids want to chew on something, like if babies are teething, like we have used this for like every single occasion. I feel like it's so worth it for our family to invest in this. It's a little pricier, but I think it's like my happiness joy maker. So it's worth it for me.
You know what reminds me of when I look at this ice? By the way, my mouth is watering as I'm looking at the picture of this ice because I know the texture. Is when you are recovering from labor or surgery of any kind, if you go to the hospital, they give you these large plastic cups filled with this ice.
Yeah.
That to me has always been like, how do I get back to that ice?
Mm-hmm.
Like that ice is a beautiful ice. So this is that ice, I think, right? It's that
it is.
It's that kind of textured, crunchy, very soft ice. Like it's not a hard crunch, right?
Yeah, it won't break your glass teeth, that's for sure. Yeah.
Shout out to
Oh,
Dr. Tongues. Shout out to Casey St. Onge.
Yep.
And by the way, Kulop, it's really pretty. It fits with your aesthetic.
It does.
Auntie Koo is on the way to her house. Check.
Ooh, Bluetooth connectivity? Yes, please.
This is Laura. I know you're our people. I know that you know how important these kinds of purchases are. You are an ice person. I'm a seltzer bubble size person. I mean, this is it. This is your tribe. You know what I mean? These things matter.
I love the specificity. Like that this is my favorite part of the show. Is to hear Suchin talk about how bubble correlation to butthole tension, and to hear Laura talk about ice in such a like epic way, in such a like visceral way. I'm like, this is the best part of the show. Best part.
Yeah, she's an ice dealer.
You're an
okay.
ice dealer.
No, that's how she talks about it. She's like, 20 pounds, Sonic, but you can come to my house and I'll get it for you.
Next up, we have rice paper, water, container, and bowl. Rice paper, water.
Can you guess what this is?
I have not heard of any of this. What is this?
To make spring rolls.
Wait, what?
To make summer rolls.
Yes.
Okay, tell me about this.
So, if you're like me, I love Vietnamese spring rolls. But our space on our dining table is so limited because we have like a million cups for some reason because we have 2 kids. And
so much ice.
So much ice, exactly. And plates galore. So having another plate where you have to fill it with warm water every minute to soak your rice paper in to make it soft enough to make the spring roll is just another thing that I don't want to deal with. You know, it's like the tipping point of the scale where I can go crazy. So someone thought of people like me and came up with this amazing container that is like vertical, and you store your rice paper in there so it's safe from water. And then next to it is a container where you could put your water in there. You dip it and you spin. Can you visualize this? You spin the disc around until it gets wet, and then there you go. Then you can start wrapping away. And it's amazing.
And what a great, you have people over. Imagine that, guys. We're so close to having dinner parties. Much like a hot pot, it's a very interactive, you put the ingredients that are going to be the rolls in the middle of your table. Everybody has their own one of these dishes. And then while you're talking, you guys are just wrapping your rolls, eating them as you go.
Yeah.
You know, it's a totally interactive meal.
It is. You can get the kids involved.
I don't think I've ever made spring rolls at home. I always look at a spring roll in a restaurant and I'm like, too complicated, but it's not complicated.
It's not. You just need water.
Yeah.
And the paper and the container.
And then just some vegetables.
Vegetables, if you'd like a protein, have at it. And then a dipping sauce and you're good to go. It's a perfect summer meal.
It's so good, guys.
That is so good. And then I love that also, yes, someone thought of this. Most likely of Asian descent, let's be honest. The 99.99%.
100%. 100%.
They were like, how do I solve this global crisis? Laura, have the kids also partake in the making of their own spring rolls? Because I would imagine with this little gadget, it's so easy and fun.
Yeah, Joey, my 5-year-old, is like a mess at it's fun because it's interactive. I find that when my kids are making their own food, they actually eat it, even though it looks like it fell on the floor. Because it's
they have
super bad. They have pride and joy in what they've created. So yeah, this totally works.
That's so great. And speaking of children, we have our last add to cart with Laura, which is the 5 love languages of children.
Yes. It is a book.
I love a book. Love a book.
I love this book. I read it recently within a day. And Dr. Gary Chapman, who is one of the authors of this particular book, he wrote the original one, which is for adults, the 5 love languages.
Oh.
Yeah. And that changed the way I worked in the office, the way I saw my coworkers, my boss, the way I dated and saw the people around me, my parents, the relationships I have with them. It opened my eyes about how people operate within love, because everyone has different love languages apparently. And this Dr. Gary Chapman has laid them out in 5 different languages. The first one is physical touch. Second is gifts.
Mm-hmm. Sounds like me.
Third is words of affirmation.
I like that too.
4th is quality time.
Yeah.
Both Kulap and I are like, skip.
And fifth is acts of service.
Okay.
Okay.
So, yeah, apparently we all have this as adult. This is how we sort of express love and receive love. And with children, it's the same. The authors suggest that we, express love in all 5 languages to our kids, And around age 5, 6 is when they start to have a primary love language. For instance, Joey, my Joey, she is 5. She loves all 5 languages, but she loves physical touch and quality time. And so recently for her birthday, we went on a trip without daddy and baby sister to Yosemite. And we just, phones were off. We spent a lot of quality time, a lot of snuggling and cuddling. And I could know. It was just...
I love it. I wish you were my mom. Oh my God. Hey, Kulap is being mothered by you. Let's give a moment here.
Oh my God. Because I, of course, follow you, and the trip looks so fun. I don't think I realized that your husband and your other daughter wasn't there.
Yeah.
And I didn't
really
realize.
Sweet.
I know, and I didn't realize it was because of this. Now it all makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, it's opened my eyes to see my kids differently. And, when you're trying to communicate, it's easier when you're speaking their love language, when you've given them, their, what he calls it is the love tank that is continually needing to be filled. Everyone has this love tank. And if you're depleted and if you're running on empty, you're not going to be able to communicate back to the person that's engaging with you, especially children. You're trying to teach them or discipline them about something. If their love tank is on empty, then they can't respond. So
wow,
this is a book that I highly, highly recommend. This one, there's one for teens, there's one for singles, there's one for adults. Love it.
I just added both to cart because that sold me. I love it. This is amazing. I love that you've taken care of us from the temperature and the texture of our ice to how we connect to our children.
This is so lovely. I feel so held.
Oh.
Thank you, Laura.
Oh my goodness, Laura, literally crying.
Oh my God. For those who don't know where you are on Instagram, where can they find you?
My handle is Laura is with a Z, Laura IZ. Yeah, I'm just on there. So take a look. I'm there. Come say hi. I have a book. Oh, I should plug that.
Yes, please.
I have a book, Nap Time with Joey. That is my 5-year-old daughter.
Yeah, if you haven't seen Nap Time with Joey, immediately add to cart. It's again, it's all of what we just went through with Laura. It's hilarious. It's touching. You're going to cry. You're going to be healed and held. And I always say, like, Laura, I think your writing, when you write these like really beautiful, thoughtful posts and letters, I read them and I just sit with silent tears, just, because I just know they're just so from the heart, and everything you do is from the heart. I think everyone can tell. So thank you for your time, Laura, and I'm so glad you were able to make it on Add to Cart.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm going to get off this call and go scream because I'm such a big fan of you guys. I love you guys. I'm so honored. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Laura. That is it for our show. Thank you guys so much. And of course, thank you to Laura. She brought us such fantastic products. She revealed so much of her soul to us. She's such a generous person.
She's so warm.
I know.
And I adore her. I adore her, and I want her to adopt me. And I made that clear. I think that was clear to everyone.
I think we all need to be remothered by Laura. And we'll talk to her about that. Private sessions. But you can find her amazing pics on Add to Cart Pod.
Call us, of course. Tell us about your love language. We promise one day we will use the voicemails we keep begging you to leave. We're such teases. The number is 833-453-6662. See you next time.
No, we're going to do an entire episode, we promise, of voicemails, right?
Sure.
Why not? We own this show.
Okay.
Sure, let's do it.
Let's do it.
Okay. All right. See you next time. Add to Cart is a production of Lemonada Media. Our producer is Claire Jones, and our editor is Ivan Kurev. The music is by Wasabi and produced by LA Made It, and Oh So Familiar with additional music by APM Music. Executive producers are Kulap Vlysak, Sujin Pak, Jessica Cordova Kramer, and Stephanie Whittles Wax.
Be sure to check out all the items we mentioned today on our Instagram at AddToCartPod. Also, please take a moment to rate, review, and subscribe to this show wherever you get your podcasts.